Most first-time e-commerce founders burn through their ads budget in days without anything to show for. But there's a simple framework to make meta ads actually work. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you right through it step by step. I also recommend you to stay around until the end of this video because I will be sharing with you 5 top tips to take your meta ads from average to great. If this is your first time watching me, hi, my name is Nas and I'm an expert in e-commerce, sales and automations. I used to work at Amazon for almost 5 years. I've launched my own brand and today I help founders and brands launch and grow faster. But enough about me, let's get into why you're here. Meta ads is often one of the best ways to get your store to start generating sales. But getting the right setup up front is essential. So the very first thing you have to do once you create your account is to set up and install your Meta Pixel on your Shopify store or equivalent. This will essentially allow Meta to cross-match advertisement data to sales data and be able to optimize these two over time. I will not be going super in-depth into how to set up this, but here is a quick guide on how to get this pixel added to your website. 3 quick steps and you can just follow them right here. And of course, if you need help, just shoot me a message on sellingwithnas.com and I'm more than happy to jump on a call and try to help you get it set up. Okay, so now that you have your pixel set up, let's get into the actual good stuff. Most marketing agencies will tell you that you should start building this beautiful funnel where you drive awareness at the top, then you do traffic campaigns, then you do conversion, and then you do retargeting, right? That's great, sounds great in theory. This typically doesn't really work because it requires you to have a lot of time and a lot of money. And for this whole funnel to come to fruition, you need a lot of both of those. But hey, I am a much more practical person. I want to get you to start selling as soon as possible. So I recommend you take a much more practical approach. One that focuses on sales from the get-go. You're able to validate your product and you're able to get between 3 and 4x ROAS if you set up your campaigns correctly. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and what I need you to do is to go to the adsmanager.facebook.com. Hopefully by now you'll have an account, and so we'll be able to start setting your first campaign from here. So you're gonna click this create button right here, and you're gonna leave the preset buying type, and you're gonna go all the way down and click on sales, because this is the best type of campaign when it comes to generating sales as soon as possible. So we're gonna move on from here. Now, once you're at this stage, you will understand that to set up a meta campaign, there are 3 elements to it. The first is the campaign, the second is the ad set, and the third is the actual ad. The campaign is essentially your big goal, is the objective that you're trying to get with this campaign. And so the objective should be essentially setting up a sales campaign or an awareness campaign or a traffic campaign. And in our case, we're gonna go hardcore on sales. Then comes the ad set. This is essentially your targeting. Who do you want to target your ads to? What is the budget that you want to use? In what time frame do you want to set this ad set to run in between? And a beautiful thing is that you can set multiple ad sets within one campaign. Let's say you want to sell in New York, in San Francisco, and in Texas. Within one campaign, you can set different variations of ad sets that target different locations and maybe even different customer personas as well. And then lastly, you have the ad or the ad creative. This is what people will actually see. This is your video or your image or your carousel with the text that you choose, and where they can click and go straight to your website. So this will be the last touch point that people will actually see. So here in campaign, I'm just gonna name my campaign 1, because why not? And I scroll down and you can see here, you can set up a daily budget or a lifetime budget, which sometimes I do, but in this case, I'm gonna leave a daily budget because it allows you to track how much you're gonna be spending on a daily, of course. And for the majority of the rest of the page, I'm not really gonna touch it at this point. I'm just gonna hit this next button. This is gonna take me to the ad set. Here I'm just gonna name this ad set 1, and you can see here the conversion is set up to take people to the website. So this is what I want. I want people to go to the website. I don't want them to fill in a form or anything like that. We want to maximize the number of conversions. My pixel is already here, and I'm gonna set up a conversion event to be, this is the one that I think does the best. And if you have an e-commerce store, you'll most likely want to get this one as well. And then when you scroll down, you'll be able to set a start date. And if you click this button right here, you'll be able to set an end date as well. And if you click on this button, you'll be able to see that you're able to, for example, influence the age of your target audience. You can change that. You can also change the gender of the people that you want to target. If you want to target a product that's fashion or apparel just for women, you can select women. And then in detailed targeting, you can go here, and what I recommend you to do is to target people who have certain behaviors, like engage shoppers or people who you know like to shop in adjacent stores to yours. If I know that my customers are normally they shop on Zara, I will target people who have an interest in Zara or whatever other brands I may define here. But it's super important to set up the target audience with the right behaviors because you want to get as close as possible to who you think your customer will be. And if you go down here, you can set up a creative, you can select either image or video. This is where you set up the image or the video that's gonna run as your ad, and then you're able to add a headline, primary text, and whatever text you want. I always recommend you to use the shop now indicator as well because you want, or order now, because you want to incentivize people to go ahead and to make the purchase right away. Setting up your ad creative these days is way more important than most people give it credit to, because the competition is just so high. Every creative agency and every brand out there can make the best videos and the best images, and even with AI, the barrier to entry is even lower. So you gotta make sure your ad is top notch, top quality as much as you can. And it won't always perform. So you gotta make sure that you mix and match and you try out different types of images, different types of videos, different types of montages, and eventually you'll hit it right. If one of the ads that you're running doesn't quite work, chances are you need to improve the creative. And if you're not quite hitting the mark when it comes to the quality of your creative, I recommend you to reach out either to me or to someone else for some help, because chances are this can either make or break your ad's performance. I obviously didn't go super in depth on how to set up the perfect ad, but this will hopefully give you an idea of what setting up a meta ad for your Shopify store should look like. And just remember, focus on sales, don't think too much awareness, don't think too broad, go a little bit niche, focus on behaviors and getting as well a good video or a good image with a good CTA. Now here are some key things people don't normally share when it comes to running meta ads for first-time e-commerce founders. First, pace your learnings. Maybe you start an e-commerce store and you have a budget, let's say $3,000, and you want to get your learnings as soon as possible. You want to start getting sales so you can show your family and friends. But it doesn't quite work like that. You can't just spend $3,000 within a week and expect for the whole flywheel to just start working together. You will most likely have some restrictions from Meta. They'll probably cap you at $25 to $50 a day. And even if you want to spend more on ads, you will have to start paying off some of the invoices so that they can increase your bandwidth, and you're then able to spend $75, $100, $200 per day. And that takes time. But also, this is time that you should take to your advantage, because campaigns take time to optimize. And you will want to take those learnings and those optimizations in your favor. If you spend all the money you have at once, there's no scope for learning at all. So slow it down, test one thing at a time, and pace your learnings. Number two, let your campaigns optimize. And this goes hand in hand with the first tip that I gave you. You'd be surprised at how good the Meta algorithm has gotten over the years. Even if you go relatively broad or you don't quite hit your target audience, over time, the Meta algorithm will identify who engages the most with your ad and will start serving more and more of it to the right people. But you gotta give it time and you gotta let it optimize. Don't kill ads too soon. Don't let them run for 2, 3, 4 days and then decide to kill them because they didn't perform. Just give it a little time and let them optimize. Number three, focus on the right target audiences. One of the mistakes people make is to try to go too broad. Just serve the ad to everyone and hopefully someone buys. Serve the ad in every country, to both genders, to people of all ages, to people who like everything. That's gonna be a very expensive test. On the other hand, if you go too narrow, chances are your ad will be served to people who you're not quite sure yet if they will be the right target audience. What I recommend you to do is go semi-narrow. So always broaden it a little bit more than what you actually think, because that will allow the algorithm to do its job and to find the right people for your products. Number four, follow the data. You will realize after 5 to 7 days that some products are getting more impressions, some products are getting a better ROAS, some products are getting a better CAC. You will want to double down on these and decommission the others. Let's say remove the budget from the others and double down with the budget on the ones that are doing best. If their unit economics are positive, then you're sitting on a gold mine. It's going to work out. And I do recommend you to check out this free calculator right here, where it allows you to put the numbers of your products, such as the costs, the cost of acquisition, and even VAT, and you're able to see how much profit you're able to make per unit that you sell. I'll leave the link right in the description. And number 5, mix and match your ads. Sometimes a static image will be better. Sometimes a video will be better. Sometimes a carousel will be better. You're not quite sure, but you will have to figure it out by testing it and by seeing how your users interact with the different types of ads that you run. Normally, for fashion, videos tend to work quite well, but that doesn't mean that if you run a catalog carousel, it won't give you a better ROAS. So you will have to experiment with different things at different times, and then just, as I mentioned before, follow the data. Double down on those that work really well and deprioritize those that don't. Your ads will help get people who don't know your brand all the way to your website, but the job is not done. You will then need to convert them into customers. And so I've made this video right here that I'll put somewhere here about optimizing your landing page to make sure you convert as many of them into customers as possible. And if you need help with setting up your store or with optimizing your ads campaigns, make sure to reach out at sellingwithads.com and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.